Hi guys, Coach Asif here, your sports psychologist. Today I wanted to do a bit of a long form video and I wanted to talk a little bit about if you are on this journey of using sports to become a great person, to be an elite athlete. Maybe me sharing some pointers through my life story might help in your life moving ahead. So, first of all, if you are an elite athlete, I guarantee you one thing: this journey is going to change your life. It will make you a success. But let's talk a little bit about what that means to be successful. So, it actually starts with two things. Number one, you must and always play for the love of the game. And number two, just be as good as you can be. And wherever that takes you, you have achieved success. So my story goes something like this. I started the individual sports, even though I played all the team sports, when I was only 9 or 10 years old. I used to be a squash player. I used to be a good squash player, number one in my country. And then one day, I happened to walk to the other side of the club where I used to play. And it was where the tennis courts were. And my older brother was sitting there. And I asked, "What's going on? Why are you just sitting here?" And he says, "My partner hasn't showed up. Would you like to hit?" Now, he's my older brother. I look up to him. I said, "Absolutely would love to try and play some tennis." Got on the court and started hitting. I remember that day like it was yesterday, though it was decades ago. And what I remember, not only playing with my older brother on the other side, what I remember was that feel of when I hit the ball on those tennis strings, when it hit what we call the sweet spot. It was the greatest feeling in the world. At that spot, I fell in love. So number one, remember what I said? You have to play for the love of the game. I just loved hitting that tennis ball. It started there. I went home and boldly tell my parents, as a 9-year-old, I quit the game of squash. I am now a tennis player. So I started playing tennis. Very quickly, I got very lucky. I started doing really well, playing the under 12 age group and succeeding, winning it within months, making the Kenya team, and actually going on a overseas trip to another country. It was the first time I'd been on a plane. It was the first time I saw another country. I came back and I was hooked. I loved the game even more. I loved the travel, I loved meeting people, everything about it. I just carried on and carried on, got better and better, and very rarely lost. Always winning my age group and represented the country within the continent of Africa. At 15, I got a chance to go to Europe. This was the first time I'm playing internationally outside of Africa. I show up in Europe feeling quite confident. I'm number one in my country. I'm ranked in Africa. I'm obviously good. What happened? First tournament, I played a 9-year-old French kid. I was only 15. Only. I was the mature one, the big one. The 9-year-old French kid destroyed me. 6-1, 6-1. I also remember that like it was yesterday. I came out of the court and I was just crying with tears. I sat down on the bench and I talked to myself and I just said, man, do I suck. Because I did. Happens to a lot of athletes in smaller countries, smaller nations. You dominate and you think you're good, and then you go to the big stage and you realized, wow, I'm not good. Came back home, had to make a decision. What do I do? Should I quit? Or do I still have that passion, the love of the game to continue? Made a decision. I need to continue, but I need to get better. So this was the first time in my life I set a long-term goal. I told myself, if I can just get good enough in the next 3 to 4 years and get a scholarship to America and play 4 years of tennis, maybe the dream of turning pro will come true. So that's what I did. Point number 2. If you have the passion, you have the love, everything you do as an elite sportsman has to be goal orientated. Long-term goals, 3 to 4, 5 years out, medium-term goals, as well as very short-term goals, which is normally a month out. So I said, okay, let's see where I can take this. Next few years went by. I did very well. Got to the point where I got a few offers. A few offers in America. I used to call it Road to the USA. My dream had come true. I fulfilled my goal. I was ready to go. Unfortunately, I ran into a small problem. I was so focused on getting better and better at the game that I love that I didn't focus on the one thing that is required in order to go to university, which is your academics. And my exams were not that good, to the point they were not good enough for the university to even admit me, even though I had a scholarship. So what did I do? I decided to reset those exams 5 or 6 months later and said, I gotta figure out how to get to the States. This was the first time again that I had a self-talk with myself. It's really important as an athlete, elite athlete, that you talk to yourself, talk within. It was a positive talk. I told myself, if I am able to get a full tennis scholarship to America, to perform at this level, clearly I have certain abilities. Which means I know I can do this. So somehow figured a way that I could take the disciplines from sport and translated it to academics and rewrote my exams and managed to do okay enough. I wasn't a straight A student, but I got to the States. Played amazing college tennis, did very well. Always kept up with my academics because you needed it if you were to keep your scholarship. played pros for a few years, my dream came true. So for you, those aspiring athletes, you have to basically have these 3 or 4 traits. Love of the game, be as good as you can be, set realistic goals. The long-term goals are the key because that keeps you going when the short-term goals maybe don't go according to plan. And most importantly, believe in yourself that you can do this. And the way you do that is through visualizations. Keep talking to yourself. Tell yourself, I can do this. And if you keep talking to yourself and keep visualizing it, you're already halfway there. Just do the hard work and you will succeed. Have a great sports journey. Make your dreams come true.